So what is the dream? What is the dream when we look forward to the coming future in our profession of treating mental health? Well, the dream is for a new psychiatrist, for a new type of psychiatrist, the one who is expert in the brain, physical system is expert in physics, complex systems is expert in complex physics, nonlinear dynamics, characterizing the brain, so he's also expert in nonlinear processes, signal processing in order to understand the complexity of the brain. This is the future psychiatrist. Actually, the future psychiatrist will have to extend his knowledge to engineering realm of science, and much more invest in knowledge about how the brain works. So the future psychiatrist will also be using terminology which is etiological. He will be talking about the specific disturbances to brain organization. And he will have to map on the spectrum of phenomenology in psychiatry, starting from psychosis and schizophrenia to personality disorders, moving through mood and anxiety disorders. This whole spectrum will have to be mapped upon specific disturbances which generate this kind of symptoms. So if we take the psychosis, which is disturbances in the millisecond range, like hallucinations and delusions, thoughts, and related to executive central networks, then he will have to talk about disturbances to central executive networks like disconnection dynamics, overconnection dynamics, small world network disturbance. It's an algorithm of optimal brain organization, small world, where you have nearby connections densely connected compared to faraway connections. This balance is disturbed, destabilizing the network. So the future psychiatrist will have to present a patient who is psychotic by telling us that he has a disturbance of small world network that causes disconnection dynamics and instability. We know that depression is related to plasticity distributed in the brain. So instead of talking about depression, the future psychiatrist will have to explain and show and prove and diagnose reduction of plasticity induction in the brain, and they will have to be aware that this causes the brain, the Bayesian brain, which predicts what's happening in the environment and represents it, that this plasticity disturbance is actually disturbing the Bayesian dynamics. Finally, talking about personality disorders, you will have to talk about immature or biased internal representations, and those are incorporated in the resting state connectivity of the brain, which will be the default mode network. So now you can imagine how the future psychiatry is going to look like. And we are going to create a group of clinicians who want to take this challenge, become the future psychiatrist, the psychiatrist of the future that will lead the whole field into a new era which is related to medicine, where we have etiology and mental disorders, which could be now, with the new formulation, could be effectively treated.